Peace everyone, Unmask here and welcome back to the Drawing Journal. Alright, so today I'm just going to be working on that drawing that I was kind of playing around with last week because I didn't really have anything to draw. So I was just kind of doodling around, and I wanted to play with some graphite because I haven't used these pencils for a really long time. So I thought that I would just do that. And hello Hamid, I'm here, so you've got one person. Thanks for coming by the live stream. So today I'm going to be focusing mainly on the lips. I doubt I'll work on anything else. As you can see, I did a little bit of work on this face when I was throughout the week when I had a spare moment and I was just doodling around. Other than that, I try to get my values correct. I still need a little work on it, but since it was a sketch and I wasn't really going for like super realism or anything like that, it doesn't look the greatest right now. It's still kind of a work in progress, but I just wanted to continue working on it and just see what I can turn it into. Hello Anne, glad to see you in the live chat. Thanks for tuning in. So real quick, I wanted to make a brief update on the Intro to Pastel course. It's going super good. So I have all of the primary editing done for the Pastel course. I'm sure many of you are probably tired of hearing about the Pastel course and you just want it to be done. I can assure you that I am in the same boat. I'm tired of talking about it. I want it to be done. I want people to have it. And I would say there's like a 70% chance that tomorrow I will be emailing the Pastel course to everybody that backed it on Kickstarter. So there's I would say 80, maybe 70, 80 might be a bit too high, but by tomorrow evening or late afternoon or something like that, I may be emailing everybody the course. I still have a few little things that I want to fix in the videos, and then I will package them up. I will compress the files, and what I most likely will have to do is privately share it on like a Dropbox type website where I'll send you the link, and it will be a private link that only you'll be able to access. And then once I have that shared, then I'll remove it so that people can't like copy it and like share the link and stuff like that, because I don't think people that supported it probably are very unlikely to, you know, take all of my hard work and just share it with everybody for free. Yeah, so there's that possibility that I will have that emailed out tomorrow evening, and everybody will have the course. I'm very excited for everybody to have it. I'm so thrilled to have this course finally be complete and just kind of have it out of my life for a little bit. I would love to work on other videos because I've just been so tied down with getting this course that I haven't really worked on anything else. And so I'm really looking forward to starting on something else. Other than that, if I don't get it sent out tomorrow, then I would say there's like a 95% chance that it will be Wednesday instead. I just want to make sure that everything is exactly the way I want it before sending it out, because I would hate to send it out, you know, just a day early or a day and a half early or even 2 days early, just to have it out and then realize that there was a mistake in the video and then, you know, wish that I hadn't sent it out. So I just want to make sure that everything is absolutely perfect before sending it. So hopefully everybody can be just a tiny bit more patient. I'm ahead of schedule though. Like, I really didn't think that I was going to get it this week. I was kind of shooting for the end of next week, or the end of this week, so like Friday, maybe Saturday, but certainly before the end of the month. And so having it done before the end of the month is the absolute deadline I've given myself, and that is a for sure thing. I'm definitely going to have it done within the next week, and quite possibly very high likelihood that it will be sent out in just a couple days. So I'm very excited for everybody's response to the course and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So I just wanted to give that quick update to the Pastel course, and yeah, really nothing else has been kind of going on with me. The weather's been kind of crappy the last few days. It rained a little bit over the weekend. Anna had a long weekend, and so we had a lot of fun together, but unfortunately we couldn't really go outside most of the time because it was raining. It was kind of crappy, but it was nice to just hang out indoors and be a couple of bums, with the exception of I still worked on her long weekend. And yeah, I really don't have much else to talk about. I reached my $300 goal over on Patreon, which is very exciting, though I kind of reached it a couple months ago, and then I lost a bunch of patrons, and then I gained some more, so it's kind of bouncing back. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't, but I hope for this month it will finally stay above that goal threshold. So Patreon's doing really well. Last week I didn't get a chance to do a tutorial, and this week I really want to get a tutorial up over on Patreon, but yeah, it's been tough. So what are my plans after I finish the Pastel course? Honestly, I don't know, because I've been thinking, all of my effort has kind of been focused on getting this course done, that I haven't quite thought of anything to do once it's over. And as I've been going through and editing all the course, I've kind of discovered like a really great way of recording tutorials, and I kind of want to do some more tutorials the way that I shot the Pastel course, and maybe just do a few tutorials here on YouTube in the same style, maybe a color pencil one, maybe a pastel one, definitely a pastel one. So I might do like a sixth lesson. So like I have 5 video series. How many videos is it? So here's a little list. So I have 5 projects. Project 1 has 2 videos. Project 2 has 4. Project 3 has 4. Project 4 has 2, and Project 5 also has 2. So 1, 2, 10, 14 videos. So I have 14 videos just covering the 5 projects. And you can see I have these ones marked off because those are the ones that I watched today. Like I just sat there and watched them. And that's like 3 hours just sitting there watching those first 6 videos. So that's kind of what's taking up all my time right now, as far as doing the final touches of the videos and stuff like that. I have to watch them one more time because I'm still doing quite a bit of editing as I'm watching through these. So yeah, 14 videos just for the projects themselves, but I also have like 3 or 4 other videos where I do an introduction and like the final video. Actually, now that I think about it, I might actually have to still record one video because I actually don't know if I recorded the outro video, like the thank you kind of thing, but I might actually not even do that because I kind of do it at the end of each project. So yeah, I think I only have, I am really gonna have to look now, because I think I finished the intro and the outro video, and it was just the projects that I wanted to leave for the very end. So I'm gonna have to go through and look. I didn't even think about that till now. But yeah, it has been just an insane process, and I just look forward to being done with it. And but I like the outcome. I like the outcome a lot of how the tutorials come across. I feel like they're very articulated. I feel like if I was new to pastels, then I would be able to follow along very clearly. Like I said, I used Bob Ross's instructional videos kind of as a reference for how I wanted the course to come across, and just the easy to follow steps and explanation that he was always known for. And so that's like the approach that I took with it, and I think it came across really, really well. And I want to do like one more, like a sixth video that I'll just upload straight to YouTube. So that might be a project that I do after I'm finished with it. And then I'd really like to do like a big project, like just an original piece that I can put into the Colored Pencil magazine competition this year. I really wanted to do that, but gosh, I actually don't know if I'll be able to. It might be too much to try to get something like that done. Because right now I feel really, really far behind on everything, even kind of my pastel course, because it was so much more work than I anticipated. And so yeah, trying not to make too many plans. I will I think I mentioned this last week, but I'm going to be on the Colored Pencil podcast probably in about 3 weeks or so. This is going to happen in July. I don't know the exact date yet, but like I said, I'd keep you updated on it. And I will certainly let everybody know when that time will come. But for now, it's still a little ways away for the podcast, but it is going to happen. My smudger. Yeah, so if anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask about anything, really. I was not prepared to live stream today, because I'm kind of catching myself in the middle of still working on my course. Gosh, I just can't wait for it to be done so I can stop talking about it. But yeah, so other than that, I haven't really been doing much. And yeah, so working on these lips, I'm just kind of making things up as I go. Honestly, I'm just kind of playing with the texture and the shading and stuff, because I kind of have it messed up around the edge here. I feel like it doesn't quite look right, and I guess that's the downside of just drawing kind of without reference and trying to make it up, is that you end up, since you don't really have like a reference to look at when you draw from just your imagination, you don't know what to do to make it look right unless you have like extensive experience drawing lips and faces and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to get the values on the lips and the texture. And I know there's like a lot of cracks that happen on the lips, but I'm afraid to make the lips look really crusty and stuff. So, have I done any portraits with pastels yet? Yeah. I'd really like to jump into pastel portraits, but I feel like that would require a lot of time right now, and I don't feel like I have a lot of time. I want to, once I'm done with the course, I really would like to pick up the amount of videos I do each week, because a couple months ago, before I started working on this course, I was doing a lot of videos. I was doing like 4 or 5 videos a week sometimes, including the Patreon videos. And right now I'm just totally stuck because I can't really do any more editing that I'm already doing. I feel like I'm like torturing my computer because I'm constantly running Final Cut with my hard drive and just huge video files and just all kinds of craziness. Hello, Chrissy. What is with your conversations in Polish? I think that might be a typo. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. My conversations in Polish don't exist because I can't speak Polish. What else? Goodness gracious! Like I said, I feel even more, or I feel even less prepared now that I actually am live than I was before I started, because sometimes I feel unprepared, but at least I can ramble on for like an hour straight. But now I'm kind of really feeling like I'm struggling. And these terrible lips are not helping. I feel like it just looks wrong. I should really just get a reference for some nice lips or something like that. I feel like the line around the lips is a bit too strong. But since I don't really have the values around the lips correct right now, like the skin, I can't really fix it. I'll just try to soften the edges and see if that helps a little bit. I feel like I want this side of the face to be darker. I don't think that looks too bad. I have this, where is it at? I think this is the color. No, this, I really like this Derwent Ivory black, because it's super dark. So I'm going to put that in here, so I can kind of get that crease of the mouth as dark as possible. Maybe if you could do smaller pastel pieces here in the live stream for a while, so that you would not have to do as much video editing and still get videos done. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do. I would like to, I haven't painted in a while. I would like to do that again as well. I still have a few of my like small canvases that I kind of hate because they're way too textured. But to do just a couple acrylic paintings, I have all these acrylic paints. I have plenty of paper to do some pastel work, and what I'd like to do is, just do a live stream pastel piece. But eventually, I'm most likely going to shift my my live pastel pieces over to Patreon, because I'll turn them more into the tutorial, and then I'll just share the time lapse of them on YouTube. But I haven't gotten there. I'm not even close to doing anything like that. So honestly, it's more likely that my mind will change on that topic, and I'll just do them here on YouTube than actually getting to them. I don't know why I'm coloring there. I am supposed to be working on the lips. Yeah, so I have a lot of plans, but as far as execution, I feel like I'm really, really far away, and it's just all talk right now, and I don't like to be in that position where I feel like it's just talking about a lot of plans. It drives me nuts. So a lot of times I really like, that's to be, here we go. A lot of times I like to avoid the talk about like a bunch of plans for what I may or may not do, because it just makes me feel overwhelmed, and I usually like to just do things, which probably isn't the best for my YouTube channel, but I've made it to 10,000 subscribers so far, so at least there's a few people that seem to enjoy it. Because my channel is kind of sporadic, you know. There was a time where I was doing just, you know, drawing a week, and then there was that plus the drawing journal, which was pre-recorded and not live, and then it switched to doing paintings, and then live pastel things in the middle of the week, and just I feel like there's been a lot of random changes throughout the years on my channel, and just I can't even keep up with it, to be honest with you. This is my full-time job, and I can't keep it organized for more than like a month or something like that, because there's so much things I just want to do. Hello, Steve. I'm glad that you were able to come by the live stream, catch me live. Yeah, so I like to be kind of spontaneous and just do what I want to do in the moment, because I know that if I do it in the moment, it's going to be much more enjoyable. It's going to be it's going to be easier on me, because I'm going to enjoy it, as opposed to like putting a really rigid schedule where I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this, and I just get bored. I don't do very well with such things. At least I upload regularly, I know. So, I mean, the Monday live streams, I've been doing those consistently every single week since January 13th or something like that. So, at least I've been consistent in that way. Real quick, I'm using a 6H. So 6H's, I'm using that to put in like the small little cracks and things in the lips, because it's not very dark of a pencil and it won't get very dark. So yeah, just that way that doesn't make the lips look really cracked and dry and weird. And hopefully I can bring out some more highlights. That was a really bad segue. What am I talking about? Yeah, I feel like if I get to the point where I schedule things out perfectly and it's consistent on a weekly basis, I feel like I might get bored of what I am creating the day that I'm creating it, and I'm afraid that it will come across in the videos, because I don't think I could pretend it. I don't think I could like pretend to enjoy something. I'm not enjoying drawing these lips right now, and I don't think I'd be able to convince anybody that I am. I'm trying to do this and have somewhat of a conversation with everybody, but and when I don't enjoy it, I don't feel like it's as good. I can't imagine this drawing is going to really turn into anything that I like, unless I spend kind of an absurd amount of time on it. But it was just for fun anyway, so I'm not very concerned as to whether or not I like this drawing, which is fortunate because I most likely won't. But if I were to do a project on a scheduled basis, I might end up not liking things, and if I try to stick to the schedule, then I'll just not like it more. And if I force myself to do something, then I think it will just show up in my work because I won't have the patience for it. I'll make mistakes that I don't feel like correcting. It won't look as good. And yeah. And honestly, like I can't think up things to do on a weekly basis. I struggle to think up like, oh gosh, what video could I make this week? Oh, what video could I make this week? And if I was making as many videos as I was a few months ago or whatever, I would have burnt myself out. So I'm just gonna kind of take my time. Honestly, I deserve a vacation after I finish this pastel course. Unfortunately, I can't yet, but hopefully soon I'll be able to. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Anne. Like, if I tried to plan something like, oh, I'm gonna do a tutorial on blah blah blah. I can't even think of anything right now. Then yeah, I would feel kind of pressured or almost obligated in a way if I promised somebody something. Or I said that I'm planning on doing something, and I've already done that. Like I think there's a few comments on past videos or something like that where I said that I'm going to do another tutorial on this, or I'm going to do something here and there. And then of course I never do it because I get sidetracked with life, and that's how things always seem to work out. But I don't really know what else to do with these lips. You guys are going to have to let me know if these lips look like lips to you, because to me they don't look like lips. So if they look like lips to you, please let me know. Because I don't know, they just look weird to me. And I don't really know what to do. Like I said, this is the problem of not using a reference photo and just kind of trying to make it up as you go. Yeah, I'm gonna try after. So I started this live stream a few minutes early or whatever. Actually, I didn't even look at what time I started it. I just saw that it was 1400 and decided to just set up, and whenever I got set up, I was gonna start live streaming. See, I can't even schedule my live streams properly because I always end up starting earlier than they are supposed to start. So yes, I'm glad to hear that you are excited about learning pastels. And yeah, I understand it can be a little apprehensive. You can kind of feel a little bit anxious about, ruining the pieces, or what happens if it smudges, blah blah blah. I'm totally right there with you. And yes, no fixative. um, I I can't recommend a fixative. There's not a fixative that I've put on Pastel that I like, and because of that, I can't recommend it. But with the Pastel pieces that I've completed so far, I've had no issues with smudging or anything like that. And the funny thing is, I feel like as time goes by, they have a tendency to not smear. This could just be me, or I'm making it up in my head. I don't know. I could be a little delusional. But I feel like they kind of settle into the paper, and as a little time goes by, they settle a little bit further, and then they don't want to smear as easy as when you're applying it. This is also true when you're using a better quality paper and you're putting plenty of layers onto the paper. So if the paper is thoroughly covered with the pastel, yes, thanks, Renate. Um, I haven't finished the face, so I'm kind of like putting just imagine the lips in space, because yeah, I don't think they fit with the rest of the face either. Um, but so when you store pastels, getting back to the subject, the question, when you store pastels, you either frame them behind glass or you store them the way that I showed in the video, which I'll have that video also in the pastel course, so you won't have to like go to YouTube to watch it again or whatever. You'll just have it right there in the course. But yeah, I don't know what. Once you do your first few pastel pieces, you'll feel more comfortable about handling them and storing them and things like that. And once you have it framed behind glass and you're hanging it up, there's nothing to worry about. That's pretty much the safest option you have as far as protecting your pastels, is framing them, because it's behind glass. Can't touch it, and yeah. I mean, really, the only removing it from the frame and then choosing to put it in a different frame would be the only other time that you'd have to worry about, you know, the pastel piece. But you'll get over that real quick. Don't worry. All right, I think I need to try to get these lips to fit into the rest of the piece a little bit better. So I'm just gonna play around with the values. Yeah, I don't like this side of the face. I just don't feel like it's dark enough. So I'm going to take my wait, where's it at? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna try this onyx, this Derwent Onyx color. Um, see if I can build up the shadows a little bit more on this side of the face, and hopefully the lips will kind of settle into the face a little bit more. So what I like about this Derwent Onyx color, medium, I guess, is that it's lighter. It's lighter than, say, I don't know, maybe 4B. So it's kind of it's really mid-range gray, but no matter how many layers you put on top, it's very consistent. So that's why I like this pencil a lot, because it will only get to a certain value and then it will just completely stop. And it's very consistent in that way. Whereas with, you know, the 2B mono Tombow or the 6B, is that you can go soft in the beginning and it will be a lighter gray, and then you can add more layers and it will slowly get darker. But this one is just a bit more consistent. Hello Vicky, I'm glad you were able to make it to the live stream. It's actually like 1500 my time, so a little late for a good morning, but if it's morning where you're at, good morning. I've been using this is a makeup remover, and I like the soft texture that it gives me when I blend for the skin. I should have started using this in the beginning, because I used the round smudger stick thingy, and you don't get nearly as a consistent blend as you would with something softer like a cloth. Of course, you don't get as much control with a cloth either for the edges of things such as lips. Oh, hello, Coffee Cat. I don't think I've seen you on here in a little while, so I'm glad you were able to make it. I was working on the lips before you got here. Kind of, I can't get them to look right because the rest of the face is kind of weird, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Noi. I'm glad you like my artwork. I really don't know what else to talk about. So if you have any questions, please ask them. Oh, last week. So last week I mentioned that I was going to share Anna's YouTube channel. She doesn't have anything there yet, but hold on a second. I have to get everybody the link. So let me get the link really quick, because I have it here now. Let's see, copy link address. Let me see if I can put this in the chat, and I want to see how many people we can get to. Oh, I don't think that's right. I'm gonna hit enter. Let me see if this works. That looks ridiculous. Okay, that does not work. Yes, it's miss. No, it's not miss with two S's. It's MRS, like misses. Hold on a second. This is not working. Okay, there we go. It's loading. All right, I have the link, and here, there. Okay, there it is. It should have showed up in the chat. I don't think it's going to spam what I type in the chat. So there's the link. She doesn't have any content or anything like that, but it is her official Mrs. Unmask Art channel. So anytime that we do a live stream together, actually, so the first of the month, we said on our last live stream or something like that, that the first of every month we're going to do a dual live stream together, and so the first of the month is coming up, so of course we're going to do another live stream together. And so what I think I might do is I'll have kind of a time, I'll do the live stream on my channel, and then maybe I'll let her channel have the time-lapse version. I don't know if I'll split it like that, but I'll let her record her own narration and all that fun stuff. So maybe we can get a second channel going, and I don't know, something, it sounds like something good in my mind, but I know that it's going to be a lot of work to make a second channel and to have things on there and put things and upload and edit and all that fun stuff. But anyways, no content yet, but you can totally subscribe to her because she loves the fact that when she comes onto the live streams that everybody enjoys it, and all that good stuff. Oh, look at that. That's what happens when you talk too much and you and you spit on your artwork. And just so now she has a scar. I think it will dry okay. Okay, now what? Oh, there's my pencil. I couldn't find my pencil. I lost it. Yeah. So there's her channel. I promised I'd share it, and hopefully we'll get some content on there soon for everybody to enjoy. I'm sure she would love your guys' comments on her own channel, and who knows, maybe she'll get t-shirts made for her fan club. Of course, that was your idea, Anne, so we'll have to give you commission for your idea. You can get a proportion of the sale. Hello, Christo. Yeah, we maybe we could do a vloggy type channel or something like that. Sometimes I have the urge to do like a vlog channel, but then I realize how much more editing I'd have to do. It could be fun though. You know what I'll do is I'll just walk around the house recording her and all the goofy things she says. I feel like sometimes we have just the funniest conversations in the world, and I feel like sometimes she asks me just the most hilarious questions, and I wish that I had those. I wish I had those on video, because we'd probably have the most popular vlogging channel on YouTube. I love it. I wouldn't change a thing about it. It's one of the greatest things about our relationship. Even after all this time, we still have these weird, goofy conversations about just the most random things on the planet. And oh gosh, I'm trying to think of one. There was this one, there was this, I'm trying to think of the animal. Oh wait, no, this was on the live stream, so I think this was our first live stream. Yeah, it was our first live stream when we were drawing the bell peppers. I'm glad I have that conversation on video because I forget which animal we were talking about. We were talking about an animal or something like that. And I'm trying to remember which, a slow loris? I think it was the slow loris because it was either before or after I had already recorded after I recorded the video doing the slow loris in pastels, and she asked what a slow loris was and asked if it was Asian or something, like an Asian animal. And actually, I don't know. I'm not sure if it is. And she said because it sounds Asian. And I'm pretty sure this was on the live stream, but it was hilarious. You just have to find the point in the video in the live stream where we were both laughing like uncontrollably. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Just doing live streams uh, and hanging out, drawing with colored pencils or pastels or whatever, and just have like fun live streams together. Or we could just live stream conversations. We could just sit there and talk. Oh, you know what'd be a good live stream is a live stream where she's trying to teach me Polish. That would be a fun live stream. Then everybody would know why I don't speak any Polish. That live stream would clear that up right away. I have the hardest time I have the hardest time learning Polish from my wife. It's truly a taxing experience. I actually yesterday wasn't no, it was Saturday. It was like kind of rainy out or whatever. I sat down and I was asking her questions about Polish, and I think it was like the second question I asked, and she didn't know. She wasn't able to like. And the question was something like, "What would I say to somebody that like it's nice to see you again" kind of thing? But because Polish has an impolite and polite speech, it would be to somebody that I've kind of that's my same age or whatnot, and yeah, it didn't seem like a really complicated question, but she didn't really know what I should say in such a predicament. But eventually I kind of got a few ideas, but that's about it. And then I got frustrated and quit. Because I think I have to give so much props to everybody that learns a second language, because it's for me, like, I already have a hard time speaking to people in person. It's easy because all of you staring at me right now, I don't see your eyes freaking burning holes through my face. But in public, I'm not very good at it at all, which is why I love just talking to a little camera. Because I'm not. I don't know if I don't know how I come across on my channel on these live streams. I might come across as like some outgoing, friendly person, but to be honest with you, I'm still friendly. I'm just not outgoing at all. I don't know what to say to people when I'm standing there in person. Like, I think of things that I'd like to say to people, but then I feel weird if I say them. So I end up saying nothing, and that's just awkward. Which makes it worse, because then I really don't say anything. I mentioned it on a few drawing journals in the past. Like, starting my YouTube channel was actually like a lot of therapy, because I kind of put myself out there a little bit, and it just made me feel a bit more comfortable talking to people and interacting a little bit. But goodness gracious, in person, I'm just terrible. If it wasn't for YouTube, I'd probably have no conversations with anybody other than my wife and the occasional time that I Skype with my sister. Yeah, that would be a good idea too, Anne. I like that idea. Maybe next week, maybe next week instead of drawing, I'm just gonna sit here and practice my Polish for an hour. Of course, I don't think anybody wants to see that. But let's see. I have my little notebook here. So these are some of the things that I wrote down for. So I know Chesh. Chesh is like the informal hello, hi to people, and then once I finally got it out of my wife to give me something to say to people that I've seen over the past couple weeks, but I only see them one day a week, is miło cię znowu widzieć. And that's nice to see you again. And then what's another one? Like, how are you? But as I found out, asking Polish people like how they are is not really all that common. And because it's not that common, I don't know what to say. And my wife doesn't know what to say. And I'm like, well, how do you talk to people? And I don't know what to say. So even like since I grew up in America and lived there my whole life up until this past year, all of our kind of social conversations began with hello, how you doing, kind of phrases, what's up, what's new, nice to see you again. Like, those things just feel natural for me to ask, even though the answers are totally superficial, which is usually just good, how are you? And yeah, most people ignore whether or not the person's good or bad, but even if I were to go past those questions, even if I was to ask somebody in Polish, how are you? And they answered, because from what I understand, they take the question seriously, and then they say how they're being, as opposed to just saying good or bad or whatever. And so even if they went on to explain how they are, I wouldn't understand any of it. I might understand a little bit of it, but for the most part, I wouldn't. So yeah, I have no idea what to say to people, and my wife has no idea what to say to people. So it's kind of a bad combination. I don't know what to do with this face. This face is not really working for me. And I already messed it up over here. It should be dry, but it's not. I think I messed it up. Yeah, I messed it up. This is a live failure right now. This is what messing up looks like. Everything is just wrong and looks terrible. This is the product of not having a reference photo and not really knowing what direction I was going from the beginning. Yeah, Christina, that sounds like you left your country and went to America. That's what it is. Even Americans, for the most part, are recognize the ridiculous experience of somebody saying, "How are you doing?" and then saying good, and that, like, that being the conversation. Or how you been? Good. That explains nothing. You know, it's like why ask? But both myself and my sister have at one point said terrible. Like somebody that you don't really know, but you've kind of become an acquaintance with, asking you how you're doing, and you just kind of blindside them and say, actually, I'm doing terrible. That can always kind of be a fun experience, but it doesn't always actually turn into a conversation. Maybe I'll just, let's see. What could I do with this thing here? I feel like, let's see. I feel like if I was just to follow this up like this and add a thing like that and thing like that, I could, let's see. Let's just go here and here and here, 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 and here, and here. And then let's just go here like this, and maybe yeah, so something like that. And I'll just put this idea, throw a flower in there. Maybe I'll just do that. I miss a lot of chat. Yeah, I went from beauty mark to scar to flower. So that's what it is now. When I saw the little things splitting out, it kind of reminded me of the center of a flower. So that's what I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna draw this flower in. I'm really not taking my time with this at all. Hopefully that's obvious. Her forehead's kind of weird up here too because of the smudger. The smudger wasn't very good. After I kind of did this weirdness to her lumpy forehead, her forehead looks super lumpy because of the smudger. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that I'm glad that I salvaged the drawing, in your opinion. I need some 2B. Just to give me some graphite to spread around here on the flower. I think I should add more flowers though. So let's just have fun and add some stuff to this drawing because it's already a mess anyway. Smudger. Alright, now let's blend out this flower a little bit. Soften up those petals. A flower to the rescue. I don't know what kind of flower this is, but it's there now. Alright, let's do a little bit more of 6B. Let's get this nice and contrasty. Kind of looks like a, I don't know, like a lily or something. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of Hawaiian-ish looking. Type of a flower. I don't know. It's a pretty flower. Yeah, like a hibiscus. Yeah, that's about right. I always kind of liked flowers with 5 petals, kind of wrinkly looking. There we go. Now let's just blend it out a little bit smoother. And that's how you create a flower. You accidentally spit on your drawing and then you wipe it off, ruining the face of your portrait, and then you just turn it into a flower. Oh look, I spit right there too. I need to get my saliva under control because it seems to have just a mind of its own. There we go. Let's see here. I feel like we can have some fun with this now that I've somewhat salvaged it. So let's see. I don't really know what other types of flowers there are. Let's just do. Actually, I have no idea what to do. Maybe I should spit on the drawing again to force me to do something. I kind of like maybe another flower here and then maybe another one here. So we'll put maybe a smaller flower right here and a slightly larger flower right there. So we'll just do the same flower. So I'll put a few dots here like that, and then I'll just kind of come up and put some flower petals here. And it will be underneath here like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then we'll have this one like here. There we go. I like that. And gotta get comfortable. Hello, Drawing Art Lab. Anastasia, that's your name. No, wait, Artista. Actually, I'm sorry, I might have mixed your names up. Add some plumeria for smaller fill. I have no idea what plumeria is. I don't know flowers at all. I know like a tulip, probably couldn't point out a tulip. I know a daisy. I've drawn a couple daisies, so I could probably point out a daisy. And I know a rose. But that's about it. That's the extent of my flower knowledge. Doesn't really go beyond that. A tiger lily. I know that flower because my sister Christine's always been kind of obsessed with them. But yeah, like I said, that is about it. I'm going to come back through here and I'm going to erase some of the highlights. And I might even throw it a little bit of hair. Maybe just bring some hair down, and then I'll just do some stuff. I'll add a little bit more texture and kind of leafy things around the flowers so that they're not so lonely. Can we see everything? Okay, so I'm going to move the camera a little bit so you guys have a bit better view. There. Now you can actually see the flowers. Let me just move that again. There. That's better, right? Now you don't have to look past my face to see it. And we'll do this flower over here before I blend out that flower. Oh yeah, this helps. I actually kind of like the drawing now. It's not too terrible looking anymore. You know the flowers make you want to look at the flowers and not her weird looking lips. So that's one positive aspect. All right, let's smudge these out a little bit. I don't know if I would really have enough room over here to go that crazy with the hair. Hello, Isabella. Oh, okay, the plumeria, little white flowers. I think I can kind of imagine that. Oh, so, okay, there's, this is totally 100% completely unrelated to anything that has to do with flowers or this drawing, actually. I mentioned earlier that I reached for the second time the $300 a month goal over on Patreon, which is going to comfortably allow me to continue doing YouTube and art full time for the next year. And one of the reasons is because I got my first art student, and she's going to have me as her personal art teacher. It is a pledge over on Patreon. It's $40 a month, and once a month I do a private video with just you and myself, and I teach you whatever it is you want to learn. And she's going to be learning how to do pet portraits. I'm going to teach her how to color animals, dogs and cats and whatnot with colored pencils. So I'm very excited. I'm very grateful for her support, and I'm glad that she came to me for such things, because that's really great. I'm glad that she found both my work and my teaching style. She enjoyed it so much that she wanted to learn it from me. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because I was really excited. I've had the student pledge for a couple months now. There's only 4 spots available. I don't think I could handle more than 4 people a month, at least right now anyway. And I'm excited because it gives me the opportunity to kind of like teach a more focused thing in it, because I will be teaching based on their individual needs and their individual desires of progression. It will also help me come up with like ideas to do videos for YouTube. So not only will I, be teaching them individually, but I will also probably come up with some pretty good tutorials to just share here on YouTube as well. So it was very cool, because she emailed me, or she messaged me and asked a little bit more specific of what the student pledge meant. And once I explained it to her, I realized that I didn't really explain it to anybody, and I really need to make that video of what I offer over on Patreon, because I don't think too many people really know what it is I offer over on Patreon. And I think if I were to make a video, I'd be able to explain it a bit better, because then I'd be able to show things. Yeah, Artista, I can kind of relate to you in that sense. You feel like you learn better on your own, but I feel like I've gotten to a point with colored pencils or acrylic painting or pastels or pretty much anything art related, that since I understand it, and many of you know this, but if you happen to not know, I have my degree in mathematics, and I would say that I am predominantly a far left thinking person. I'm super analytical in everything that I do. Honestly, accidentally spitting on my drawings and then like making these flowers, this is probably the most right brain thing I've done in like 6 years. So when I approach drawings, when I approach paintings, when I approach anything art related whatsoever, I do it all left brain. All of my artwork, I would say like 99% of what I do as art is totally left brain. Now, I know that the idea that people are predominantly right-brained or predominantly left-brained is kind of a myth. You don't just use one side of your brain; you use the whole thing. But the analytical side is always associated with the left, and the more touchy-feely is always associated with the right. The more creative side. But when I create, I don't even feel like the right side. Hypothetically, I don't even feel like the right side is working, because I think of things in the way I approach artwork is very algorithmic, which is the same the same kind of process for solving an equation. But in the case of art, in the case of art, the problem that I'm trying to solve, since it's not an equation, is how do I get this picture on this blank piece of paper using these pigment-filled sticks and these hands, and in what way do I have to rub this paper to make this picture show up? That's kind of the way that I think about it. And because of that, I feel like it has opened up a completely different approach to teaching art, because the way that I teach it is not by feeling. It's process. It's steps. The way that I like to teach is kind of broken up into sections, like chapters. And I feel like when you're trying to learn a specific technique, it's easier to break it down into like, this is what's happening, this is what's happening next, and then this is how you get the final product. I don't want to say that I'm not saying that I'm the best teacher. I'm just saying that I teach differently, which opens up new opportunities for people that might not learn as well from an instructor. I need one of those erasers that I can sharpen. I think there's like a mono eraser or something like that. Yeah, the planning process that I do, I wanted to make, I wanted to make a video a while ago on how I go about planning my artwork, because it can be a whole like 3 videos of the process I go through, because sometimes it is totally random. Other times it is very like just clear. Like I like that picture, but I want it to look more like this, and I like that dog, so I'm gonna put it into this picture, or something along those lines. I do have an electric eraser. Thanks for reminding me. Let me find that. Yes. I might need to change it. I'm going to turn it around. There we go. I totally forgot I had an electric eraser. The fact that you're pointing out what I have just makes me laugh. Oh yeah. That's kind of cool. Those highlights show up a lot better. How do I record my videos? Are you referring to the videos that I am recording, like this live video here? Or are you referring to the more artistic videos that I do? All right. I think that's good for highlights. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Are you too often here? No, I don't think so. Once a week? It's once a week. It's not that too often. I'm going to add some highlights to our eyelids. Give them sparkles. Oh, I can do this to the lips as well. You guys hear this? I just want everybody to know that this is Anne's fault. There we go. I think that's good. As I continue. Now I just want to do it everywhere. Where do I want her to shine? I'm going to do the tip of her nose. I'm going to regret this. Yeah. I need to fix that. Yeah, I think it makes her eyes look kind of shiny and nice. I'm going to use the cloth. Okay, so since I do need a mono eraser. You want to send me one? You know, actually, now that you mention that, I actually haven't bought art supplies in a while. So I could probably pick up a mono eraser. I also need to get one of those crank pencil sharpeners. I've been wanting to get one of those as well. I just haven't gone to after the traumatic the traumatic experience with Jackson's art supply. I just haven't wanted to buy any more art supplies from them, but they're like the only place I can really order from that has what I need. But I had to wait forever because they don't do back orders for Poland. They do it for Syria, but they don't do it for Poland. So I actually don't know if they do it for Syria. That was a joke. But yeah, they for some reason they don't do it for Poland. Noi. Hopefully that's how you pronounce your name. But are you referring to the live stream video, or are you referring to my other videos, like what cameras I use? But I use 3 different cameras to record my videos. I use this camera here, which is a Canon Legria, and then I use that camera there, which is a Logitech C920, and then I use my DSLR camera, which is a Canon 70D. That's how I record them. Okay. Maybe we could add some hair now. Okay, I'm caught up with the chat. I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing any comments. Yeah, honestly, I don't know office supply stores in Poland. I don't feel like there are such things. It's so hard to find stores in Poland. It is so difficult because every single building looks the same. They all look the same. And half of the stores all have the same name. It's just like the name of the store is just what the store is, like flower shop. And there's like 80 flower shops. And they're all in the same building that looks the same. All the buildings in Poland look the same. The only variety in buildings that you're going to get in Poland is the castles, and like the big skyscraper buildings. Okay, maybe tone that down a little bit. The large hotels in Warsaw. But that's about it. Other than that, they all look the same. You've got bread stores, you've got aptekas, which is pharmacies, you have flower shops, and then you have what else is there super common? All the żabkas, that's a franchise. Yeah, there's like 1 billion of those every direction you walk. What else is there? The clothing stores. So there's like these like individually owned like clothing stores. I don't even know if they have names. Honestly, I don't even know. But they just have like mannequins in the front window and random stuff hung up. And then, yeah, I've never seen an office supply store. Never seen an office supply store. I haven't really looked for an office supply store, but at the same time, I imagine I've had to look for some tape, and I would have imagined that an office supply store would have popped into my mind if I'd seen one. Yeah, the stores here are just I do not feel like they are convenient to find things. Like, you have to know where things are before you can find them. Yeah, it makes it's difficult. It's difficult for me. I don't know. I'll have to ask Anna if she has trouble finding things, but I swear to you, she knows the stores that she goes to. They're just the specific stores that she goes to for certain things, and she knows that they're there. But of all the time that we've been together, we never went into a store we didn't know. So I think the art store was like the one time that we went into a store that we weren't kind of familiar with. But yeah, it's hard. Yeah, so there's a home improvement. There's an Obi store, like a couple kilometers that direction. and it's really big and it's obvious what you're walking into. Anyway, let's put some hair on this person here. I don't really know what to do with the hair. Let's just trying to imagine what it should look like. So maybe I'll just kind of string it down. I'll just try to add a bit of shape and then kind of go from there. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, that would be the definition of going wild, wouldn't it? Just walk into a store I've never been into. Honestly, that would make me feel just incredibly uncomfortable. Especially if there's nobody else in the store. So, let's see. This is so much harder. So this will all be hair here. And maybe her hair's kind of parted right here. And then this body of hair. You guys can't even see what I'm drawing and you're not saying anything. Yeah, but Artista, you're talking about Japan. Okay? Japan is awesome no matter what store you walk into. That's not the case here in Poland. I'm not going to add a lot of hair, okay, because I already don't like this. You guys were wrong. I shouldn't have added hair. I'm just going to stop here with a curl and maybe add... Ugh, that's terrible. You guys messed up my drawing. Everybody should have just came here and spit all over my drawing, because that's what you did. All right. Now I'm just going to kind of darken all this stuff in. It will look better once I darken it. Now I have to salvage this mess. Yeah, I know, I'm off frame. It's all your guys' fault for not telling me. If I zoom out far enough, I think it might actually look good. I think I can move it back over a bit. There we go. I'm just going to have this part of the hair all dark, because it's going to be in the shadow anyway, so no real sense in having a bunch of detail. Oh, because I put in the hair, I forgot to do the littler flowers and leaves and whatnot. So I'm just going to add them now. I'm just gonna do like jagged little dark leaves. Little stick hanging out. I don't know what I'm doing. Little That looks terrible. I messed this up. This is so bad. I need to okay, I'm done. I'm so done. I'm gonna just color this in and call it a day. I can't do this no more. I'm working on something else next week. Okay, so her neck would be kind of like here-ish. And let's just, there, I can kind of cover up that mistake. Let's just take this and smooth that out a bit. I'm off frame again, but whatever. Oh gosh. Oh, my little thingy stuck to my finger. I accidentally threw it. I'm just gonna smudge this and see if I can't get it to look a bit better before calling it a day. Let's just do this part of her hair as well. Yeah, it's all kind of messed up. Let me just erase this here. And maybe not have her neck so dark. Yeah, I am done. Yeah, the flower should have a drop shadow here. And over here. Yeah. This is done. This is done. That is all you're gonna get. I just don't have the patience for it. And this live stream I think I've live streamed long enough. Don't be greedy. Besides, look at this weather out. Just look at it. It's fantastic. I'm gonna go outside. You guys have a lovely day. I'm gonna continue my lovely day. I'm probably going to throw this away. But no, I'll keep it. Don't worry. Calm down. I will not be taking a picture of this, and I will not be sharing it on Instagram or Facebook. It's too hot in Europe. It's not that hot. It's probably like 27, maybe 29, something. That's not too bad for me. Shorts, t-shirt, walk around, stay in the shade, you're good to go. Anyways, I really enjoyed the live stream. It was so fun hanging out with everybody, and I need to finish my Pastel course so that I can stop talking about it and move on to better things. But if you backed the Kickstarter for the Pastel course, expect an email from me very soon with a link for you to download it. Of course, I have to figure that stuff out too, because I'm not quite sure how to do it. But it will be coming out very, very soon. Either tomorrow, at the earliest, tomorrow evening, you will have it. And Wednesday, maybe like a 95% chance it's Wednesday, but 100% chance it's this week. So don't miss out. Check your emails, because I'm going to email it to you. I'll probably also post it on Facebook that I have it complete. And if you see that, then check your email, because you'll have a link if you backed it on Kickstarter. Anyways, I will see you guys next Monday. And until then, take care. Peace.